Okay, so if you're looking for a job right now, you probably know this feeling. It's this deep frustration, right? You're doing everything you're supposed to, but it just feels like you're shouting into the void. Well, let's dive into this, because the problem isn't you, it's the game itself. Does this number look familiar? 87. Maybe for you it's 187. You've sent out a ton of applications. You've tweaked your resume with all the right keywords until your eyes hurt, and you've hit easy apply so many times your mouse is probably groaning. You've put in the hours. So you've done all that activity, all that effort. You poured your evenings and weekends into this thing. So what did you get for all that hard work?
A big, fat 0. No interviews. Maybe if you're lucky, you get a couple of those automated rejection emails a month later. It is so easy to feel completely invisible and start thinking, what am I doing wrong? And honestly, this is where most people just get burnout.
But I need you to hear this. This is the most important part. You are not failing because you're not skilled enough. And you're not failing because of some tiny typo on your resume. You're failing because the job hunt in 2026 plays by a totally new set of rules. And, get this, your own brain is actually working against you. So let's just start with the tough truth of it. The system you're trying so hard to beat, it's pretty much rigged against you, the individual applicant. And figuring out why is the very first step to actually winning.
Take a look at this. This is how jobs actually get filled. About 40% come from referrals, from people knowing people. The other 60%? Yeah, that's the black hole of online job portals. But that 60% slice is where you are competing with 500, sometimes even 1,000 other people for one single job. I mean, the odds are just insane.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the futility of just playing the numbers game. Every time you hit apply, it feels like you're taking another shot at the jackpot. But the machine is literally designed to take your time and energy and give you almost nothing back. So, if the odds are that terrible, why on earth do we keep doing it? Well, it turns out our brains are wired with these biases, these little mental shortcuts that make a totally useless strategy feel incredibly productive.
And this is the main culprit right here. It's a psychological trap called effort justification. Basically, your brain thinks that because you spent 8 hours firing off applications, you must have made progress. It tricks you by confusing the feeling of being busy with the reality of being effective.
Let's just look at this side by side. Sending 50 generic applications feels like you got a ton done, right? That's activity. But having one single focused conversation with someone who works where you want to work, that is productivity. It's a strategic chess move that actually moves you forward, even though it feels like you did less work.
Okay, so if blindly applying online is a losing strategy, what's the winning one? You know, the answer isn't some new app or a fancy resume trick. It's actually rooted in a 50-year-old idea about something much more fundamental: human connection.
This idea from sociologist Mark Granovetter is absolutely brilliant. Think about it. Your best friends, your strong ties, they all kind of know the same people and the same opportunities that you do. But your weak ties, that old coworker you liked but haven't talked to in a year, an acquaintance from a conference, they are bridges to whole new worlds. They're your secret weapon.
And the data on this is just undeniable. People who focus on building these connections, having those informational interviews, they are 40% more likely to find hidden jobs, roles that never even make it onto a job board. And why? Because you're having a real conversation with a human, not just feeding a document to an algorithm.
All right, let's talk about the big, scary thing in the room: AI. So many people are terrified that it's going to make their job obsolete. But here's the twist for 2026. The real advantage isn't about being scared of AI. It's about figuring out how to be its human partner.
So you see stuff like this on resumes all the time now. And you know what? It's not bad. It shows you know how to use the latest tools. But it's missing the most critical piece of the puzzle.
Now this is the winning bullet point. This tells a hiring manager you're not just someone who pushes a button, you provide the human oversight. You catch the AI when it messes up, and it will. And crucially, you can explain how it all works to other people. That's what builds trust, and trust is what lands you the job.
And here's the psychology behind why that works. It's this idea of a liability shift. Companies are getting really nervous about the legal risks of AI. You know, there was that recent case where an airline's chatbot just made up a refund policy and the airline was forced to honor it. A candidate who can step in and manage that risk, who can be the responsible human in the loop, that person is suddenly incredibly valuable.
Okay, so we've covered the psychology, we've covered the strategy. Now, let's get down to brass tacks. Let's put this all together into a real, actionable plan you can start using, like, today. It's time to forget the old rules.
First things first, stop the madness. This week, apply to 10 really well-researched jobs, not 50. Use all that time you save for step 2. Message 1 week tie. Just one. Ask for a 15-minute chat, not for a job. Third, go rewrite that AI section on your resume to show how you manage it. And finally, take a serious look at where the jobs actually are, essential industries like healthcare, and get creative about how your skills fit.
Look, if you only remember one single thing from all this, please let it be this. The job hunt isn't about filling out more forms than the next person. It's won by making more real human connections. That online application portal, it will never care about you. People will. So, I'll just leave you with this one question. Pull up your LinkedIn right now. Just scroll through your connections. Who is that one person? That former colleague? That acquaintance from a few years back? Who could you message today? Just send that one message. Start that one conversation. Because that is your first real step toward getting your next job.